Hello, and welcome back to the Oceania 7K World Cup 2025. I am one of your commentators, Sergio85, and alongside with me in the booth is Rayvile. And we have a match again in the winners bracket between Hong Kong and the Russian Federation.
Hello, yep, we do have the trio of Hong Kong going up against the Russian Federation, hopefully for a closer match than what we saw in the previous one, where it was a seed 1 against the seed 16. Now this time it's a little bit closer, seed 16 to 11. There's a 5 seed 16 gap between the two teams.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 5 between these two teams. And honestly, this match might be one of those stereotypical LN versus Rice matches if Russia manages to perform very well on the Rice picks, which I presume they will be prioritizing. And you can already see they're protecting Rice 4.
Yeah, not a surprise. They actually topped Rise 4 last weekend, which was Vanguard 3. They got the highest score amongst every single team that played it, so not a surprise to see Russian Federation actually go for that Protect on Rise 4. Hong Kong going for the Protect on Hybrid 1. Also, they managed to top in the leaderboard of last weekend's Hybrid 1. So again, not a surprise, but Hong Kong are going to ban Rise 1, which is, I think, understandable. Banning off the speed pick.
Yeah, if it's not Rice 4, if Rice 4 gets protected, I think the best one of the better bans to do is on Rice 1. Not exactly Rice 3, because I'm pretty sure I remember Hong Kong performing well accuracy wise on the Rice picks. Russia banning Kagutsuchi, which I honestly expect from them. Again, Russia will be prioritizing the Rice picks for this entire match. Like, yeah, sure, seeding may look like they're pretty far apart, but considering the possible dynamic in this match, this might be closer than what seedings may imply.
Yeah, these two teams are kind of all over the place when it comes to the maps from the round of 32. So it's definitely going to be a bit more fun to see how these two teams are going to be vetoing the maps. And picking, of course.
Yeah, for the most part, especially for these two teams, they do have some pretty sizable advantages during the round of 32. So they had a bit more liberty in their strategy, really, for the most part. This time around, though, they will have to start performing to their comfort zones at least. But I think the most interesting part here is how everything will unfold if things actually go the distance. But anyways, Russia will be opening with Das Leben nach dem Tode, our chord stream pick.
That is a very risky move, I think. Because Hong Kong have a pretty good chord stream score from last weekend. Hong Kong played a no-show, 1,978,000, almost 1,979,000, which placed them third, just under China and Japan.
Yeah, I think Russia might just be confident to be able to get something out of this. I remember Team Ibuka and yeah.
Mm-hmm. You were saying?
I do remember Team Ibuka and Carace performing very well on the equivalent chord stream pick from last year's pool. Like, yeah, sure, there is a decent step up from round of 16 last year and round of 16 this year, but anything could still happen.
This is definitely slightly tougher, 7 BPM increase from last weekend's chord stream, and it's a slightly bit more dense.
For Hong Kong, as you mentioned, they do have they can score high on this, and they do and they do have the accuracy advantage going into the second quarter of this chart. Also, just to note, we have a fully mirrored match. Both Russian. Oh wait, not fully mirrored. It's actually no fail. Okay,
Oh, no fail.
apologies about that. Yeah, I thought it was MR.
Well, Russian Federation are still in striking distance to try and pull this league back if Hong Kong do find any combo drops, but accuracy-wise, it is night and day right now.
Like, they have what is essentially like a 99.75 average for Hong Kong. You know, Russia needs to what, catch up by around 5/10 on average. Grace needs to step up a bit on the accuracy right there, and honestly, at this stage, it will be pretty difficult. And they will be hoping for a big drop coming from Hong Kong.
Oh, but that's a big drop from Team Ibuka instead. The highest accuracy of the two from Russian Federation finds the miss.
Not exactly the person you'd want to drop if you're Russia. It's also their highest It's also their higher accuracy player as well. So that is going to be hurting them a little bit more than it should. You know, Hong Kong pretty much consistent, though they are decreasing accuracy. But I think that's pretty much the effect of the increased density really at the very end of this chart.
It's not going to matter too much as well because Russian Federation just can't find any avenue to increase their own accuracies. So this might just be done.
Yeah, and Hong Kong has practically stabilized. This has to be one of the strongest team scores that we'll see in this pick.
Solid showing from Tang Jinsi with just 4 200s. And yeah, this was why I was talking about how, you know, this was a risky pick. You're basically stepping into a landmine. And unfortunately, Russian Federation stepped into a mine, as Hong Kong will eat this for breakfast.
Now, it will be Hong Kong's pick. And they are going for LN2. Actually a pick that I expect from them, at least.
Interesting pick.
I mean, yeah, there is an element of course stream here as well, and we already saw what happened there.
Hong Kong have been okay in LLNs. They've only played one, which was the equivalent white canvas from last weekend. And they placed 6th out of 24 countries.
Yeah, one of the stronger LN density teams. This one should be well within their comfort zone. Maybe the super tricky part of the before the climax of the chart might prove a bit of a problem. But that really depends. I'm pretty sure they have the ability to get through that. Meiju coming in for Carrace for this pick.
Yep.
Meiju, one of Russia's stronger LN players, if I remember, if my memory doesn't fail me.
Yeah. Meiju did play one of the LN maps last weekend, which was LN 3. Although Meiju did play LN 3 with Smeardoll's boy, but they are insisting on having Team Ibuka instead.
Oh, okay.
Actually, maybe not.
That.
Oh, but it is
so
going to
it
be
is.
Race instead. Okay.
Interesting. So I presume Hong Kong will be staying with this duo, their duo Zek and Tangency.
Yep. No reason to swap these two out anyways, because Hong Kong did have these two players in for LN2 in the round of 32. So having them again, we'll see if that yields the same results.
And here comes the noodles. Everyone doing well at the intro. Hong Kong with a slight accuracy advantage, just averaging around 99.4. But now, interestingly enough, Russia has just a 10 of an advantage. Tangency dropping to around 99.2.
Yeah,
But the tug of war doesn't stop.
It seems Tangency is actually either hitting early or releasing early. But accuracy from Karace is dropping, and that is what is giving that lead back to Hong Kong as Zack recovers accuracy. But this is not a safe lead.
Yeah, that was a pretty shaky start there for Tangency. And we're about to enter some of the hardest patterning throughout the entire pool. Like somewhere like the second third of his chart. Something that Hong Kong has to be super careful with.
Yeah, but so does Russian Federation. They have managed to stabilize their accuracies, but misses here can be fatal. But this is actually shrinking from Hong Kong because of Tangency, but Zack is trying to, balance the lead back.
Yeah, Zack is doing well accuracy-wise. I'm pretty sure like the advantage Hong Kong has right now is just all on Zack.
Just on Zack, yes. Because like everyone else is holding 99.3, it's just Zack holding the 99.6. But that is all it is.
Any single drop from any of these teams will prove to be fatal, especially the final. Like, we only have 1/4 of this chart remaining. Just a last 30 seconds, Meiju! No!
It was a clean drop, but Zack was on the trade. But how much time would there be left as Meiju will drop as well as Zack drops again? Both these players trading back and forth is just Tangency and Karace holding on
that's
to
another one.
And another drop. But I don't think that's enough time.
Yeah, just a little bit too late there for Russia to grab this point.
That wasn't comfortable from Hong Kong, actually. Something to think about.
Maybe Ellen, but LN1 is a very different chart though.
Yeah.
Like LN3 might seem closer to LN2 skill set wise, but I don't think that. Yeah, sure, you're able to keep up with Hong Kong closer on LN1. I mean, on this one, but it might be a very different story on LN1. There you go. Like, Inverse is just a really different skill set compared to what we just saw. So I don't
mention that Russian Federation did ban LN3.
Yeah. Maybe Hybrid 1? Hybrid 1 is a safe one for them to go to.
Oh, they're going Rise 4. Okay. I mean, this is their Protect.
Yeah.
And Russian Federation did place number 1 on Rise 4 last weekend.
Something going for them, and maybe this should at least give them the first point that they need.
Theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically.
But Hong Kong can be quite scary on Rise between these two players.
Did Hong Kong play Rise 4 last week?
They didn't.
I don't remember them playing.
Not a lot of teams did. There were only 14 teams that played Rise 4. Wasn't really a popular pick.
So this will be the first time we'll be seeing Hong Kong play technical Rise. So not much to compare with, but
wow, we see more mirrors than not.
Okay. Zack only with no mod.
Okay.
Full mirror on Russia. Tangency with mirror as well. Just for everyone.
Yeah. Knowing how abrasive these patterns might be, mirror might be a solid choice.
For those who are new to watching Mania 7K in particular, mirror is a pretty popular mod. Mostly because, the thumbs. Like some people have used left thumbs or right thumbs, and some charts may just have inherent bias on one side or the other. If it's not that, it's mostly to avoid mind block.
More
If
often
you're-
than not, it is
yeah.
to remove mind block. As we do see the first miss already from Zek, and accuracy-wise favoring Russian Federation with a very clean accuracy from Karesa, although they did drop a little bit, dropping down to 99.5, but Team Ibuka is there to support for the Russian Federation, as Zek is slowly recovering as Team Ibuka finds a combo break, and this might actually stabilize the lead. It might just pass it over to Hong Kong if Hong Kong can just keep this going.
Yeah, but Team Ibuka still has the accuracy advantage over Tanjing C, so that's one thing going for them. Maybe the lead might stabilize it. Actually, let's see what happens when Team Ibuka actually hits 400 combo. Because that will tell how close this thing actually is, but it's getting closer and closer. Like, Tanjing C is increasing accuracy really fast.
And that's
And
a
that
miss
miss
from Team
from
Ibuka!
Now that's clear for Hong Kong.
Still not out of the woods just yet, but this is a lead that Hong Kong can play with. But Team Ibuka finds another miss, and that lead is just going to extend.
Yeah, Zek's accuracy almost better. Oh, a few 200s. Those are big acrops that coming from the Zek. This is not yet over, I think.
Crucially, they did not miss. Oh, but
And
crucially, Team Ibuka does.
Yeah, those misses are going to be proving fatal for Russia here. Hong Kong's lead has already increased to 5 digits, and it's going to become harder and harder to get the lead.
Yeah, now with these mini jacks. And those bursty streams catching Team Ibuka, that might be it. Tang Jinxi actually drops below the 99%. But what is keeping Hong Kong going is that Tang Jinxi is also holding onto the FC, and that is going to seal it for Hong Kong.
Yeah, really close at the end. It's just a 6 misses coming from Team Ibuka, making the difference here for the most part.
I think that's the difference, unfortunately, for the Russian Federation. And that's going to be 3-0 to Hong Kong. Back to Hong Kong's pick as well to try and at least get themselves to match point.
So now, surely they have to go LN1 here now.
I
honestly think
I don't know.
Honestly,
I don't know. Both these teams did not play inverse.
If not
So
LN1,
it's
hybrid 2.
Hybrid 1, there we go.
Oh, hybrid 1, okay.
Okay, yeah, this was Hong Kong's protect. Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. But again, the charting here is pretty similar to... Quite similar to what we saw from LN2. So Hong Kong has to be careful. Just a bit careful. Has to be a bit careful here. RFP, my English. Maybe Hybrid 2 would have also been a good pick, coming off the wackiness of Rise 4.
They probably want to be a bit more safe. Just go with the protect first.
So now, no substitutions here coming from Hong Kong. I think they're gonna be sticking with this duo until the very end.
Probably, yeah.
And Meiju coming in here for Team Ibuka. And just a balance between their Rice and LN for the most part.
Yeah, but this is definitely the more straightforward hybrid output. The most straightforward hybrid.
And here we go. Like, there's this element of risk also going for the more straightforward one. Again, we saw what happened with LN2. The pattern here is a bit similar. There is some difference, obviously. But let's see how this thing unfolds.
So far, accuracy is just narrowly beating out each player's counterpart. Zek over Meiju and Tangjin over Karace.
Relatively shaky start for Tanjin C though, keeping this really close. Like just doing their hits and releases slightly earlier than on the earlier part of the timing window.
Yeah. But crucially is that Tangjin C is beating out Karace by quite a bit. Zek actually dropped a bit of accuracy, but so did Meiju. So now this lead still in Hong Kong's favor.
It's a pretty manageable lead for the most part, but Russia has to step up a bit more than this.
It is Hong Kong's map to lose. So the pressure is on them instead of Russian Federation, but of course, the Russian Federation would love to try and get at least a point on the board right now, but Meiju, as I say that, will just counter my words.
Meiju has been doing very well before that miss. Now it like at this Tanjin C with well, it's not a sizable drop, but it's a full 10th. Out of the Meiju finds a trades favor the team in the lead, and that is Hong Kong.
It's a rougher drop from Tangjin C actually compared to Meiju.
But on average though, Hong Kong is still gaining a tad bit.
Yeah, it's mostly because
that
of
sequence. That sequence actually reduced the lead by a few thousand points. Tanjin C not really getting accuracy there.
This is not comfortable. Zek's doing really well, but if Tangjin C is just not able to keep up, then this is the perfect opportunity for Russian Federation. Zek finds the drop. It's a clean one. It's a clean drop, but Russian Federation are able to put this one back in the dying seconds. 3-digit score difference. Can they hold on to the end? But Hong Kong are able to balance this lead back towards themselves. Towards the end, is it gonna be enough? The release is at the end, and it's gonna be 240 points. Hong Kong, by the skin of their teeth on their protect, will make it 4-0. What just happened?
The final quarter of this chart, that was crazy. This could have gone either way, really. Tanjin C doing an LN break. That's why they missed out on the full combo. I'm actually not sure where the swing happened. Like I just saw like the LN stare thing. The LN stare pattern going to the climax. Suddenly, Russia cutting the lead by 1,000 or so points. And then
there's probably like some accuracy drops from the Russian Federation towards the end.
Yeah. Zek missing. I mean, dropping combo at the final chorus was the break Russia needed, but unfortunately missing out by just 240 points.
That is a cruel way to lose out on a point, especially when Russian Federation are staring down the barrel of dropping down into the elimination zone. They now have to be flawless.
Yeah, 5 straight points to avoid relegation.
What can they even go for? What is like sensible now? Risk it with a Rise 3? Maybe try and cover around Hybrid 2? They are going for Rise 3. They are going all in.
Yeah, get the highest scoring skill set and see what happens. There's no safe pick for them, I think. But maybe of all of them, this might be the most sensible.
Russian Federation did not play Rise 3 last weekend, but Hong Kong did, and they placed 5th. Hong Kong were actually one of the 7 teams that actually had a higher score than South Korea. So this is a risk.
Yeah, one heck of a risk. Maybe Russia is just banking on Hong Kong finding
Finding a drop.
Finding massive drops on the anchor somewhere, or maybe one of the bigger chords to the start.
If there's a player to watch out for, it's probably going to be Tang Jinxi, because Tang Jinxi was the lesser scoring of the two when they played high score last weekend. Zack had a very disgusting score. It was a 998k, and Tang Jinxi had a 993.
And I'm pretty sure we're going to be expecting scores at around that level still for Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Again, we're still at that point in the tournament where the chord streams are, not chord streams, the chord jacks are 990,000able for a decent amount of players in the roster.
Any single-digit seed teams, yeah. But this is it for the Russian Federation. If they still want to stay alive in the upper bracket, they will have to be flawless from here on out. There is a mirror coming up from Karace. It may be Fading Star, but let's see if any of the Russian Federations will turn into Rising Stars.
That's a good one, and they will need to do... Someone has to rise from this point, because they want to at least get this match extended at least one more turn and see what happens from there. And right now, so far so good.
Yeah. Oh, but Team Ibuka found an accuracy drop. They dropped from 99.9 to 0.7. But Tang Jinxi is behind and Zack finds a combo drop. That is what Russian Federation needs.
There's a pretty sizable drop. Now Russian Federation needs to maintain this consistency. They cannot afford any drops, because while they do have a full 10th advantage on both players to their counterparts in Hong Kong, this is still a pretty manageable lead.
It is not safe by any means, especially when we're talking about a chord jack map that can just swing itself at any instance. But this is a very solid score from Team Ibuka. When we're talking about Rising Stars, they are stepping up when they need, but that's an accuracy drop from them, and another one! A 50 from Team Ibuka, almost dropping combo. Crucially does not, but Russian Federation are playing with fire.
Yeah, those are a few, 3, 4 50s over that sequence.
My heart dropped for a split second.
But right now, Team Ibuka is trying to cover for Tang Jinxi accuracy-wise. Tang Jinxi dropping below 99.5. Karace, on the other hand, while below Zack, Karace does have the combo advantage. Only one quarter of the chart remaining. The lead is still slowly increasing more towards Russia's favor. But again, this is still not safe. It's so easy to rush at any of these scores if you lose your metronome.
I'm more worried about Team Ibuka. If they had that 50 moment, it might very well happen again, and it's, best that they do not do it towards the end of the map. But Russian Federation will close it out with a double FC and get themselves on the board. Crucially, 5 50s, but no misses from Team Ibuka, and that has saved them.
And that's still MVP them, by the way.
That is still MVP because of ratio. That is incredible.
Because of ratio, what if they did not have those 550s?
I mean, that would be like a bigger stomp than we would have expected from them. But that is so crucial that they did not miss.
Indeed. Karace, on the other hand, with a V1SS, doing just enough to cover really for their opponents. Russia's on the board.
And Hybrid 2 is coming out from Hong Kong. They still want to try and jab at the Russian Federation players with another Hybrid pick, but this time round, this is going to be trickier. It's the technical Hybrid.
Les canons magiques. I hope I did not butcher that.
I believe you said it pretty well.
And if I remember correctly, The counterpart here on the Rice Picks, Rice 4, it was pretty close. Again, like
It
what?
was
200,
very close.
very
Yes,
close.
240.
240 points. This one, while it has long notes, it's still super technical.
It is definitely on the tougher side. So that also means more room for error, more prone to missing. But let's see if Hong Kong are able to close it out, or if Russian Federation can get a comeback started.
Well, at least they do have already a point on the board, so that's at least could have given them some relief. The pressure is still on for them to continue keeping the momentum on their side, but they'll have to do it one chart at a time.
I did say if the Russian Federation were not going to go for Rice 3, they might want to go for hybrids, so let's see how close this one will be.
Actually, one of the bigger concerns as well is, should Russia win this, what do they pick next? Because what's remaining? There's like what, LN1 Hybrid 3.
Definitely not
And of course,
LN1.
Rice 5 as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be between like Rice 5 and Hybrid 3. There's no way they are going for LN1. Unless they know something we don't. Double mirror from Russian Federation.
Now finally a fully mirrored
Yep.
matchup. Not me missing, not me forgetting that the mirror icon looks different. Oh, Team Ibuka!
Oh.
No.
Very rough start for Team Ibuka. Not just in terms of combo, but also in terms of accuracy. So already catch up for Russian Federation.
Yeah, those were really bad accuracy drops. Team Ibuka already below 98%, just trying to recover to that level. And this is already a start that they don't really want.
Yeah, this lead is actually growing towards Hong Kong because of the accuracy increase from Zek and Tang Jinxi. Team Ibuka is actually slowly climbing but dropping a bit of accuracy. As I say that as Kareis will drop combo.
Well.
Is this the beginning of the end?
There's a two-thirds of a chart remaining. Still enough time for things to happen, but they have to start happening.
That is a cruel combo drop from Kareis on the releases of the LN. You do not want to see that.
Yeah, this start is pretty tricky overall. While the patterns look pretty simple, execution is the most important thing, really. Whenever you're performing in a tournament, you really want to get as high of a score as you can.
Yeah, this is a crushing lead so far for Hong Kong, still having both players' combos intact. And Team Ibuka will reset their combo and make this 50,000 points of a lead. Probably the biggest lead we've seen from Hong Kong thus far, as Kareis will just add on to that. More salt into the wound.
Jinxie has dropped below 99%, but regardless, if this is a double FC for Hong Kong, this is still a statement score. If they're able to maintain the double full combo.
Yeah, very solid accuracy from Zek as well. It's pretty much done and dusted for Hong Kong to get their 5th point and their ticket to the upper bracket quarterfinals. Double FC from Hong Kong to boot. And that will do it. 5-1 over Russian Federation. A comeback that just lasted a single map.
Zek, 15-200s.
Yeah.
Really?
That's a score.
That's a score. Well, there you go. Hong Kong will be advancing to the winners bracket quarterfinals. And unfortunately for Russian Federation, they will be relegated to the losers bracket. but I'm pretty sure I've said this line many times already tonight. But whoever's facing Russian Federation next weekend will have some problems.
Well, just to quickly refresh on the bracket, Hong Kong will be facing the Philippines in the upper bracket quarterfinals, which is going to be pretty fun,
That's
showing
spicy.
off Asia Pacific here.
That's a spicy matchup right there.
And as for the Russian Federation, they will be facing Sweden.
All European matchup.
Yep.
Anyways, with that, once again, congratulations to Hong Kong for winning this match. And for Russia Federation, we will still be seeing them next weekend. As we mentioned, they still have the losers bracket to claw themselves back for more progression in this tournament, really.
But yeah, with that being said, we still got 2 more matches remaining in this round of 16. One of which is going to be happening in around 24 minutes.
Yep. And I think this is my last block for this weekend. So yeah, what a fun weekend it has been. We've seen 3 tiebreakers this weekend. If I did not miscount, a few crazy scores as well. But again, as you mentioned, we still have 2 matches. One in 23 minutes, Indonesia versus Venezuela. And we hope you guys will still support the teams. And speaking of support,
yep, you can get banners in the shop for any of the teams in this World Cup, even if they have been eliminated. You can even stack multiple banners of all countries or just a single one to sort of show your support to everyone in this tournament.
Yep. So buy the banners. Maybe if you end up buying the banner of the winning team of this World Cup, you'll have that one on your profile until the next 7K World Cup. So feel free to get them while they're still hot. Anyways, that's it for me for this weekend. And you'll be seeing Indonesia versus Venezuela in 22 minutes from now. So this has been Sergio 85 and Rayval in the booth. This has been the Oceania 7K World Cup 2025 round of 16. See you guys later.